probably watch 1 million episodes of Breaking Bad in one sitting.
I think I only ever watched 1 or 2 in one sitting, okay?
Okay. You probably watched a whole season of Stranger Things in one sitting.
I watched all of Lord of the Rings in one sitting.
All 3 extended editions?
Jesus.
Oh my God.
It's all day, baby.
Why would you want to wear a JoJo suit?
I don't know, look
That's
cool.
merch. You're supposed to put that in a case and put it on a wall.
I don't know, look cool. He
Leave
wore
it
it
in
he wore it to like an anime expo or something.
You got to leave it in the wrapping. And then get it graded. Imagine getting your suit graded.
I got my JoJo suit graded. It's a 9.5.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Life is Daijoubu, episode 40. We did it. It is now the time to do the end of the year stuff, but not quite. Right now, first, we got to do the fall review.
End of the season.
I would say we can legally, and then it's like, wait, what can you legally do at 40 that you can't do at like 25?
Can we run for president?
The last legal
35. We already could. Yeah.
Okay.
We already can run for president. In fact, most politicians.
We can't collect our retirement yet, though. At 65.
Have you guys ever? By the way, Cole Thane Sky. Have you guys ever heard of like your golden year is you turn the age that was the day of your birthday. So Thane's golden year is way past.
Mine's way past.
Mine's next year. My next year is golden year. 28. I'm doing it.
My golden year was when I was 11.
Guess what I'm doing for my golden year?
What's my golden year?
Same thing
4?
you always do.
4. Oh yeah, that's way past.
you don't even remember. Like I think it's kind of like you have like a 1 in 30. Like a
I was
like
kinda
okay.
confused at
Let's
the
say
day. I was
a
kinda
1 in
confused
15.
At the day when you said that's like, oh, it's the exact day of the month, like the 4th of December.
Well, I think like maybe like 13, 14 and on is when you might actually care about the golden year. So like everybody, like it's still more than like 50% of the population pretty much. But if we're just polling us 3, it's a third. And I'm the lucky one.
You are the lucky one. I hope you have a great golden year.
Thanks. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you all have a nice year as well. Today we're doing, like I said earlier, the fall 2023 anime review. The season, so not the year. Next time, in a week from now, we'll be basically recording these pretty quickly after one another. But next week will be the 2023 year in review for the anime year. There's got to be a better way to say it. One of these days we'll figure out a better way to say it. Maybe it'll be next year. Who knows? But yeah, that'll be coming out a week from this episode. So look forward to that. We'll go over the entire year, our favorites of the entire year, which of the shows comes out on top. I'm thinking, by the way, I think we do a top 5 of the year rather than a top 3 of the year. Because if I do a top 3, some of my favorite shows don't even make it into the top 3, and that's just sad in my mind. Like they gotta be like, I gotta recognize them. Why'd I bring my pen? I don't need
Honorable mentions.
I gotta testify. Come up with the spot looking extra fly.
My honorable mentions are 4 and 5. Anyway, so before we get into the actual review of the season, we've got some news to go over. And I want to start out with this one. I've heard it from my friend. It's not on this paper, so you guys can't see it. And I fact-checked it, and it's also fake news. But I still thought it'd be fun to bring it up because I want to bring out how I bet he learned about it from TikTok. And TikTok is not a reputable news source for all you. No. We're not even a reputable news source, but we're better than TikTok.
We're trying.
We're a regurgitated news source.
TikTok comes up with their news, and the news that they came up with is that the studio that did One Piece live action was going to make a My Hero Academia live action. And that's fake. It's false. It's not true. There's rumors, but it doesn't mean it's true. And the rumors have been happening for over a year now.
Yeah, there have been talks, but nothing solid.
So just to be like, I'm going to make a TikTok and make so many views on this TikTok and just...
The same rumor mill turned out, Spy Family live action. Like, that one makes sense. But, like, they've turned out a bunch. Like, I don't know, like, Jackie Chan's always wanted to do a Dragon Ball live action. Which, if they do it like One Piece, I think it would be banger.
Yeah. And then the TikTokers get a hold of these rumors and pass it on as real news. But don't believe it. It's not real. That was the first one I'd wanted to say.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. So we're going to run through real quick the season 2s that have been announced. Because it's the end of the season, a lot of these most likely are shows that have finished airing at this point or will finish airing within the next couple of weeks. That said, I don't have all of them that will be announced or that have been announced because I may have missed some. I got the ones that I found. Shy, that's getting a season 2. That's that superhero girl one.
The one that you didn't like, really?
No, not really.
MF Ghost is confirmed to get a season 2, which makes so much sense because season 1 felt like half of a season. Like the ending of season 1 was
I thought somewhere it said it was a 2-core, but
yeah.
there was a ton of 2-cores this year that are coming in.
The end of season 1 was him qualifying for the next race. I'm just like, what a terrible ending.
You're like, thanks for the it's not even a good blue ball. Just like, ugh.
It's like it's a predicted.
This one, wish me luck on saying this name.
Never heard of
Have
it.
Thane say it.
Hayakusho Kizoku.
So much better than I was gonna do.
He's a
Holy
gamer,
cow!
dude.
I've read a lot of Japanese
This
words.
guy's
I
half
kinda know.
Japanese.
I should learn
Waist
Japanese by this point, but that's so hard. It's
It is
so
hard.
hard.
I did a little bit of Duolingo once upon a time and didn't make it past like week 3 or 4.
Oh, yeah.
I did it for like 3 weeks, and I was
That
just like,
evil
I'm not really
bird.
learning anything. The only thing I learned was like kakyoi means cool.
The evil.
So whenever I hear
yeah.
an anime character go kakyoi, I'm like, that means cool. I know.
You know what's funny? It's a real side note, but it's very relatable. Ever since we started this podcast, I hear Daijoubu so much more in anime.
Yeah.
Like it just pops
Daijoubu?
up. I hear it.
Yep.
Ever since I've heard one character say Desua, I've heard a lot of Desuas. It's like I'm hearing it everywhere from that. There's one VTuber, she had a tick where she's like Desua, and then I hear Desua a lot.
How did she say it?
Desua.
All right. Anyway, that show that Thane said like literally 3 minutes ago, that's getting a season 2. I didn't know it existed or that was getting a season 1 or had one. But yeah, there you go, season 2. Rurouni Kenshin is getting a season 2. I mean, it makes sense. It's a remake and it's doing good.
Yeah, that's the better. I think that's the better part of the manga that they're adapting.
I think it confirmed that it was doing some arc that people really liked or something.
Yeah, I think it's called the Hokkaido arc, and as the guy who lights people on fire.
Scary. All right, now we've got some other news. First up, we have Eminence in Shadow is getting a movie.
Makes sense. It's a popular one.
It's a popular
Very
one.
popular.
Next up, another movie. We've got Chainsaw Man. The Reze arc is getting adapted into a movie. By
Yeah.
Mappa, of course.
I'm pretty sure you called that.
I called it, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, we're doing season, season,
Season,
movie,
season. Yep,
Yeah,
for the whole
that's
first part. Because it just
And
fit.
for people who don't know, it's going to be a very wholesome romance movie. Make sure you take your kids along.
Take your kids.
Or your girl, whatever.
Next is a terrified teacher at Ghoul School. It's a manga and it's getting an anime.
Sounds like a freaking book you'd read in grade school. Like a
Ah,
terrified teacher
yes.
at Ghoul School.
Yes, it does.
It's like a Goosebumps.
It's Scooby-Doo.
Goosebumps sounding ass title.
Yeah.
It's
They
Scooby
thought
Doo,
it,
and
dude.
I would read it. I should read it.
And another one we have is The Ideal Sponger Life. It's a light novel and it's getting an anime.
Sounds like a SpongeBob isekai.
I'd watch that if it was SpongeBob. All right, the last thing we've got to talk about with news, and I felt like we had to leave this one for last because it's the most interesting of it all, and it's that One Piece is getting a remake called The One Piece, and it is being animated by Wit Studio.
Can I rant a bit?
Let's hear the rant.
That title, The One Piece, you couldn't think of anything else. I hate when people just get lazy and put the or take out a few words, like when the Fast and the Furious, they just had Fast and Furious. You couldn't just put a 4 in front of it. What?
One Piece Brotherhood. Where's my money? Give me money.
One Piece.
But they're not brothers. You should say
What?
Piratehood.
One
No,
Piece
no, I got it.
Brotherhood. Let's go. I'll share my money with you.
I got a good one. It makes sense because of the song. We are One Piece.
No, they should have just went full bore and said, The One Piece is real.
Yeah! That's probably why they did it. They probably just said the One Piece. Like, we can't call it the One Piece is real. We'll just call it the one.
Didn't you say Oda confirmed that it's going to be done within the next 5 years or something? 4 or 5 years?
The
Yeah,
manga?
yeah, he said that. He keeps saying that. I don't know how far he is. Like, feels like it's getting to the end point. We just got another flashback of another major character. 247.
Maybe he just like every couple months he just looks into his vault of monies. And he's like, I'm gonna need probably like 80 more chapters.
Another 80 chapters. That'll get me a nice, very comfortable life. That'll do it.
Yeah, it was.
He's like, right now I'm living to the end of my life pretty easily. My kids are also living in there, but I want everybody to be really comfortable. So let's do another 100 chapters.
Yeah. I mean, they're already living comfortable lives, so.
Real talk, and I know we talked about this literally like a week ago
On the other
podcast. I just want to reiterate for the anime podcast. I think this is completely fine that they're doing a remake of the One Piece anime. I think it makes a lot of sense.
I saw it coming a million miles away.
Yeah. The only weird part is that the fact that they're going to be airing simultaneously. That's the only strange thing.
Yeah.
Because like we think about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and Full Metal Alchemist. Sure, they were a couple years apart, but they more or less did the same story and then changed things here and there, and obviously the ending.
The original, like, it had the same story for like the first 25 episodes, and then they changed things.
And I imagine the One Piece is probably going to be a lot more streamlined.
Yeah.
Much so like how the live action television show was.
Yeah.
And I bet there's going to be zero filler that we had in all the original anime show.
So when do you guys think they're going to do this to Naruto?
I like to see that with Naruto because of the filler, especially Boruto.
What about those 4 episodes that they promised us like months ago that we still haven't gotten?
I wanted to kind of sneak that in there.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Did you see like the realization hit my face? Oh my gosh. What the heck? Where is that?
We were talking about it last night with our buddies. Not Naruto. Well, it was just like Naruto, Boruto, because we were talking about Fortnite. Doesn't matter. But yeah, I threw it out there. I was like, talking about those 4 episodes that we're never going to get, because that's why Boruto went on. Well, it's not why, but Boruto went on hiatus. They announced these 4 episodes months ago. Wasn't it almost a year ago by now, probably?
No, I believe they're supposed to come out in August.
When was it announced, though?
Oh, probably 6 months ago. So, months
Okay.
ago. You're right. Announced months ago,
Yeah.
You think that when the anime comes back, they're just going to call it the Two Blue Vortex?
I hope they just called Boruto.
Yeah, just call it Boruto.
No, they'll definitely call it Boruto 2 Blue
because
Vortex, because they're going to have it's Boruto Naruto Next Generations. It already has a tagline.
What if they call it Boruto Shippuden?
I think people would hate that.
Yeah.
As much as people hate Boruto as is, I think they would hate that even more, just for no reason.
Yeah.
Just because it's got the same name, they'd hate it.
Well, to put the flag on this conversation, sorry to baddie. That's all I'm going to say.
She's a minor, man.
What? That has nothing to do with her being a baddie.
You can be a baddie. Like, Boruto's a baddie, too. You seen that last panel?
He's
Chapter
freaking
5?
rizzed out, bro.
We'll get more into this. Trust me. It's I've got something to say about that. Well, but before we get there, which will be at the end of the show when we talk about the manga that we read, we've got the fall 2023 anime season recap. And just like we always do, we're starting with Mal's top 5. I say top 5. I definitely put more than top 5 because I wanted to try to do stuff that was also not sequels, so it's more like a top 6 or 7.
I think it's fine.
Number 1, Frieren at a 9.14, which is, I believe, still currently the highest rated anime on Mal.
Dethroned Full Metal Alchemist.
Blows my mind.
That makes me happy. Not that I hate Full Metal. I don't. I love Full Metal. I dislike that people are like, this is the greatest thing. This is peak and nothing will ever be better. So good job, Frieren.
I've been reading the manga. It's fun.
Cool.
Next up, The Apothecary Diaries 8.76.
It's a banger.
It's a slapper, dude. That show slaps. All right. Next up is Eminence in Shadow Season 2 at an 8.56. Dr. Stone New World 2, 8.44. Spy Family 2, 8.19. Shangri-La Frontier, 7.99. Tokyo Revengers Season 2 Part 2, 7.93. My New Boss is Goofy, 7.9.
That's freaking
Goofy?
Banjo.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was the wrong answer.
Gorsh.
Do you like how on the paper I have Tokyo Revengers 3-4 question mark. I saw it right before I walked over here. I was like, oh, so it's actually season 2 technically still.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm surprised my new boss is Goofy is even on this list. I remember when we first read the title of that and saw the picture, we all said, that looks like not fun.
Yeah.
All 3 of us said it.
That didn't age well.
No,
God,
it's not.
I wonder if anyone photoshopped the boss just look like Goofy.
He is Goofy.
Yeah. and not just like just put Goofy's face over, but actually like
whole
take the
thing.
details and actually put the ears and the nose and just still give him the pretty anime boy face.
Oh. I'm not surprised by the first couple ones on this list. Right around it hits Dr. Stone, that's when I started becoming surprised with this list. I'm surprised that Tokyo Revengers made it onto that list.
Yeah.
What is that? Does that say something about Tokyo Revengers or the season as a whole?
Tokyo Revengers.
Oh, okay.
Most people I've ever heard say anything about Tokyo Revengers at this point says it's not as good as it once was. I can confirm. I've not watched this season, but it was going downhill the last season I watched.
So once again, I reiterate my question then. Does that say something about this season or Tokyo Revengers? It being up here at this high is what
I'd like to say something about Tokyo Revengers and maybe just Tokyo Revengers fans, because I still disagree with that. I don't think Tokyo Revengers is better than a lot of the shows that we watched this season.
Cool. That answers my question.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure if I was getting there.
Also, I think, this just has TV shows on here because
Oh, yeah, I didn't put movies.
Pluto was pretty high there, too.
Oh, yeah.
Pluto was 8.6 something.
8.6, so that would put it past Eminence and Shadow, so I guess it'd be number 3.
I wonder why Pluto wouldn't be on Mal's top 10.
Well, that was just
it was just TV shows.
TV
I didn't
shows.
think to look at like O&As or whatever.
Yeah, you got like O&As would technically O&As and movies. I don't know if you count movies since they're like
What does Pluto count as then?
it's an O&A.
An O&A.
What does an O&A mean then?
Original net animation.
Okay.
Like technically like how Stranger Things is considered a web series because it's on Netflix and Netflix is a streaming service.
It's not a television.
Because it didn't air on
television.
a network.
It did not air on
correct.
television.
Okay.
It aired on the internet.
I understand that now.
Yeah.
My bad. Sorry about you. Sorry about that, Pluto fans. I forgot to list you, but there you have
And
it.
Scott Pilgrim too. Well, Scott Pilgrim's not even on Mal, so
I
screw
forgot
him.
Scott Pilgrim was a part of this season. Do I need to rethink anything on this list?
Nah, probably not.
Probably not. this guy, you okay, sir?
Yeah, fine.
All right, then we can start moving into our categories. He's crying. Let's start off with the biggest surprise.
Did you want to do the break?
Oh,
We don't have to.
I played a lot of Pokemon in the break. It lined up perfectly. The new DLC lined up with when we didn't have to watch an extra episode of anime or another season of anime. That's what I did.
Dane?
I'm behind. I didn't catch up. I was
He was VTubering.
I was stressing out about a video game. Them making several video games. I hate them.
And you also started playing that Lethal Company as well.
Yeah, Lethal Company's fun. I think you would like it, Sky. I know Cole wouldn't like it.
Yeah, I could tell I wouldn't.
I loved how when our friend that was asking you, you said, yeah, you asked me accidentally to play or something. I died. I was dead. We was like, yeah, I asked accidentally.
Well, when he said that, he said, disregard this message or disregard the invite. And I said, I was planning to anyway. What did you do, Sky?
I have been playing a lot of Diablo 4 by myself, which is sad. And then I caught up on JJK.
Did you just it all over the place?
Yeah.
Brigham.
I'll talk about it later.
You caught up with the whole thing?
No, I'll talk about it later.
He gave up when he realized Mappa gave up.
Wasn't Brigham playing with you? I guess he wasn't.
No, he's starting. The problem is all of our friends played that game 6 months ago when it released.
When it came out.
And people realized, wow, It's not that good.
They like it. It's just Blizzard's done some really stupid things for people that really like it. And
Also, Baldur's Gate stole their thunder because not only was it a more compelling RPG, it has co-op. That surprisingly works from what I've seen. I didn't think co-op would work in a game like
but
that.
Diablo has co-op.
I know, but like it's less like choice heavy. It's more action, whereas Baldur's Gate is turn based and you have to.
In Baldur's Gate 3, kind of like NPC asked me, "Hey, what's this guy you're hanging out with?" And it's my buddy. Can I respond? I don't know. Want to kill him and sell the profit and like split the profits? Can I like kill my buddy with some random NPC?
If the choice
roll,
comes up,
if you get a 20,
if I roll a 7, my friend gets notified that I tried to kill.
he kills you.
If the choice comes up, then probably.
I would take that choice. That sounds like fun.
This guy.
All right, let's move into the actual segments that we got. Starting off with our biggest surprise. Thane, what was your biggest surprise of the season?
I would probably say the Apothecary Diaries. Like, it came out late and it was like, I don't know anything about the show. Let's see it. It's like, this is fun. I like this show. It's good.
What did you call it? You called it House? It's like House?
It's like Well, I got that from Gigic.
Oh, okay.
Or Garnt. He said that. Well, he made a joke. He's like, this is like House, or this is like that one show. And he starts playing the House intro theme. And I was just like, whoa, holy freak it is.
Except she's not as much of a jerk.
Yeah, she's not a freaking jerk.
Is House a douche?
He's a douche.
House is huge.
I've never seen it.
It's such a fun show.
But that's what the fun is. He's like Rick from Rick and Morty.
Oh. Yeah. I was like, huh? Like Rick Grimes?
Rick Grimes is kind of a psychopath in the later seasons.
Yeah.
My biggest surprise was I'm in love with the villainous. That show, just from reading the tagline, I was like, wow, this is probably just going to be a dumper that I'm going to drop. And it's not. It's completely opposite. It's a banger. It's
not slop.
It's not slop.
Doesn't it blue ball you on the Yuri stuff?
A little bit.
I mean, I didn't watch that show because I was horny. Well, I may have started because I was horny, but it was very wholesome and it's very cute. And you're like, dang.
But at least you want to see him kiss.
I'm fine with them not, because I have other shows.
Wink, wink. That's ironic, Sky, because my biggest surprise was Apothecary Diaries, and I remembered how much more of a surprise I'm in love with the villainous was. So I wrote that. Because Apothecary Diaries, after like the first 3 minutes, you go, oh yeah, this is not a surprise. This is just absolutely gold. Mm-hmm. But then you keep watching I'm in love with the villainous, and you're just like, why is this fun?
And it keeps getting better.
Why am I enjoying this so much? But honestly, the thing that surprised me the most about it is that it was simuldubbed. That's probably my number one reason I was surprised by it. You don't see a lot of simuldubs for some reason. There was a while back, they tried really hard to do a bunch of simuldubs. I have not seen it in a while. And then a random show that really wasn't that popular, all of a sudden they chose that one to be simuldubbed. And I was here for it. I was totally down for the dub. I'm going to move right into our biggest letdown. And my biggest letdown is a bit of a cop-out. It's Tokyo Revenger. It's a cop-out because I never watched the season. But maybe that's why it's a letdown, because I wasn't compelled enough to actually try to watch it with my buddies. Because me and my buddies watch it. You know, I was saying that earlier. Mm-hmm. Last season really wasn't that great. And so who knows if I ever watch this. And that's why it's a letdown.
Wah, wah.
My biggest letdown is going to trigger everyone. And if you've watched the show, you've known me talk about it several times, is Pluto. Now, I say that, mind you, that I didn't watch it all. I watched the first 2 episodes.
Did you even finish it?
No.
You're triggering this man.
Yeah, and everyone else in the comments, too. I've already said my piece on the show and why I wasn't really compelled to watch it. But I'm also comparing it to the fact that I watched all of Monster. And Monster, right from the very beginning, had me hooked for 74 episodes.
True, fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
Thanks.
I don't think you can be rebuted. Except that you're wrong. I'm just kidding. I've never
Except that you're wrong.
Somebody pops out, just freaking guns me down behind the camera.
It's a slow burn. You got to keep watching. It's only 8 episodes. You see.
1 hour long thing. That's like 30.
That's like a TV drama. You probably watch 1,000,000 episodes of Breaking Bad in one sitting.
I think I only ever watched 1 or 2 in one sitting. Okay.
Okay. You probably watched a whole season of Stranger Things in one sitting.
I watched all of Lord of the Rings in one sitting.
All 3 extended editions?
Jesus.
Oh my god.
It's all day, baby.
I watched all Star Wars in one day once.
Like all 6? Wow. Okay.
I don't like slow burn either, by the way.
You like to be hooked from the start?
Well,
like
hook me from the start and then give me a slow burn.
Okay.
I don't want to be slow burned into the hook.
Sounds painful, but
it's
okay.
What let you down, Thane, other than Skylar's comment?
It's got to be under Ninja.
Oh, that was a thing.
Yeah, that was a thing.
I remember watching this trailer, I believe.
Yeah, like it's funny because like the animation has a lot of detail in it, but not much in the movement. Like they kind of look like slideshows at times. And the concept is really awesome. It's ninjas, but in the modern day, and it's grounded in realism. Like, oh, like if ninjas existed, this is what they do. And the technology might be sci-fi, but it's like plausible. Like they have cloaking technology. It's like, oh, it's like Solid Snake. Like, yeah. And also like they're the most out there technology that's like it could be possible in the future is like a giant laser like the Hammer of Dawn from Gears of War. But the problem is that it's just not that compelling, and like the first like 4 episodes has very wonky pacing. Like they go from one incident and then they keep flashing back to a previous incident until they're both resolved, and it's like you could have just started with that and then flash back and had that whole incident and then flash forward to make that current incident more impactful. But like it was really weird pacing like that. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people drop that because of that. It does get more interesting as it goes along, but like I don't know, man. It's kind of wasted potential.
How many episodes did you get before you gave up?
Oh, I didn't drop it. I watched.
You watched the whole thing.
I'm watching the whole thing. I got like 2 more two more episodes, and that's the whole show.
Well, so that show really let you down.
Yeah, it let me down because I stuck with it. I could have picked Shy because I actually did drop that one, but Under Ninja was like, it had so much more potential.
You really gave it
a
solid chance.
Yeah. And I don't know if I'll watch the 2nd season unless these last 2 episodes just blow my mind. And I'm like, whoa, I want to see what happens next.
Well, now that we've talked about shows that let us down, how about we talk about shows that we let down? Sky, what show did you drop?
Dropped shows.
I
think this is the most I've dropped, but this was also the most I've watched in a season, or at least attempted to watch. So I dropped Pluto, which I already talked about. I dropped one called The Disgraced Noble Lady. It's a longer title. It's a lot longer than that. It was the one that when we were going through this season in a nutshell episode, it was like, oh, wow, that tagline sounds interesting. I should watch it. It wasn't. I didn't like it.
Oh, was it the one that like you thought
I
she
turned
was
her
gonna be
naughty?
horny?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's like I turned The Disgraced Noble Lady naughty or something like that. I watched 3 episodes of it, and I was like, eh.
Not what you thought.
Yeah. I also dropped Overtake, which is the car one. I think I watched 2 episodes of that, and it just wasn't my thing. I also dropped Spy Family. But I dropped Spy Family because I've already read it, and I already knew what was happening. And I guess I am the type of person that if I've already read a manga of something, I'm less inclined to watch the anime, although it doesn't always apply. And then the last one I dropped is called Dead Mount Death Play, Season 2.
I usually drop it if the animation is bad or it just doesn't like, wow, it could get better impact from the manga. Like, say, what was the one? Mashal? Yeah, it's like, wow, the animation's bad and this is A1 Pictures.
See, in this season of Spy Family, this arc anyway, I would argue is one of my favorites. But
Yeah.
It looked good.
Yeah, I've
pretty.
already read it, and I guess the surprise factor, I guess, is not there. But I'm also watching Free Run, and I've already read that. But why do I like that one so much more?
Because literally, she does something, and it's just literally like photorealistic. like her searching through a pile of grass, picking up a stone and throwing it, and it's like, why does that have so much effort?
The
in
most
those
magical 30 seconds of my life.
30,
you,
30
you
seconds.
see a shot of Frame do the or Fern do this. And it's like the greatest 30 frames you've ever seen in your entire life. That's why.
Yep.
Well, I'll let you know the shows that I dropped, unless you had more.
No, that was all.
That was it. I also dropped Spy Family. I think I made it 2 episodes and was like, yeah, Spy Family. I dropped Undead Unluck after watching 1 episode. I still never watched the intro. I kept saying I was supposed to, and I never did. Sorry, Undead Unluck. Sorry I never gave you a good chance either. I gave you a chance with the manga. I thought maybe the anime would do it because colors. Didn't. The first episode was still funny, so I'm glad I watched that, I guess. But the characters didn't do anything for me ever. And they never have, even in the manga. So, and then this is a sneaky drop. This is The Kingdoms of Ruin. Because I watched the 3 episodes once in a sitting. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to finish this show. Because the dub had like stopped at that point. Like what I had watched was where they had dubbed up to. And I was like, I'm never going to finish this. And so it's technically a drop.
Nice.
Thing, what shows did you drop?
I dropped Bullbuster.
Bullbuster.
Bullbuster. It was the show I said, it is not that bad. Still ended up dropping it.
The art was cool looking
Yeah.
on that cover. That's all I remember about it.
Then I also dropped Miji and Dolly. Not good. It's like it tried. I don't know if it was trying to be intentionally funny or unintentionally funny, and it's like, nah, I'm not doing this. And then my daughter left and became an S-ranked adventurer. Whatever. It's just another fantasy.
Bad fantasy.
Yeah, not compelling fantasy like Freerun.
Unlike Freerun.
Unlike Freerun. Unlike whatever.
Good
Not
catch.
like unlike. I think that's the same thing, right?
I just think not like is not proper English.
Okay.
I didn't hear not. I thought
Yeah.
you said like Freerun.
Oh no, he
That's
said not like.
my
Yeah.
bad.
And then I also dropped Overtake. Yeah, I decided to cull a few shows. Cull, not coal.
Are you done with your list there?
And then one more is
Okay, go for
Shy.
it.
That's the important one, Shy.
I want to say something about Overtake because I don't have it anywhere on my list at all. But I wanted to talk about it just because I felt obligated to as the one that did finish it. It felt like it had identity crisis at times. Like it wasn't quite sure what it wanted to be. If it wanted to be a racer, a show about racing, or a show like a drama. The drama aspects of it were really good. I thought the characters were really fun and they had some great arcs. But then the heavy focus on the racing felt a little out of place at times as a result. It seems like they came up with one thing or the other and needed a vehicle, pun intended, to carry that part of the story, and so they chose whatever they ended up choosing. That said, I thought the story was fun. The last episode was quite fun and very worth the wait. Still not one of the greatest shows of the season, but it also definitely was far from the worst, in my opinion. That's all I had to say.
I didn't think there's that in Bullbuster. I didn't think it was bad, but I needed to drop shows.
Fair.
I just watched too many.
Yeah, I
of them.
think you were watching the most this
Did
season.
you have 20?
Something like that. But then I recounted, and it got like just 12 new shows and 4 comebacks.
It's those carryovers that'll get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of carryovers, Rurouni Kenshin, I never even started watching during the beginning of the season, so I still have those 11 episodes unwatched.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to give them a watch here during this break, I imagine. But all right, let's move on to our favorite opening. Thane, what was your favorite opening of the season?
It was Undead Unluck.
I'll watch it. I promise.
Yeah.
I will. Not the show, just the opening. I've got to see why it's so good. That it?
Yeah.
Okay. Sky.
It's by Queen Bee.
My favorite opening, and this has nothing to do with the animation, mind you, just the song, is from a show called Our Dating Story.
Song's pretty good.
It slaps.
Shows, yeah.
Yeah.
But the song was fun.
Yeah.
I can agree. I can't agree enough though because I chose Apothecary Diaries' opening, Be a Flower. It was
Good.
fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
That one.
The
bops.
animation slaps too. Like, good stuff. Good bops. All right, let's move into our hottest takes. I'll start with this one. My hottest take is that the shows that you like aren't actually very good.
What?
And specifically, I'm talking about Spy Family, Shield Hero 3, and like 100 Girlfriends. They're probably fine shows. I have got history with all three of these. That's why I feel like I can give this as my example. Spy Family, it's got the cuteness aspect of it, and that's all you watch it for, and the animation. Shield Hero, you watch it because the first half of season 1 was really good. And 100 Girlfriends, you watch it because you're horny. And that is my TED Talk. The shows you like aren't actually very good.
What do you got, Thane?
I got 2, and one is, this one's now hear me out. If Free Ren is racist, then so am I.
Oh my god.
Now, let me explain.
Wait, I think if you don't give context, it's funnier.
Probably, but I should explain.
It'd be bad if he didn't give context.
Now, she's not racist against humans or any types of humans. She's racist against demons. Now, in the show, they were saying, "Oh, we want peace," but Freeran knows their nature, and some people on social media was like, "Oh, she's racist against demons," and it's like, no, she's not. She knows demons, and that's the plot. That's how they wrote it. But wait, demons are bad in this universe.
What if she is though? Because they're bad.
Are demons a race? That's the question then.
Yeah, and there's the other thing. They call her racist, but like, are demons really a race, or are they just a monster? And I'd say they're a monster. And they're skinwalkers.
Monsters.
Yeah, they're skinwalkers essentially because they wear human skin, not literally, like figuratively. But I wouldn't put them past them that they put on someone's human skin if they did.
Without spoiling anything, if anyone has that take, you should just go read the manga. The last volume we got. It addresses that.
Yep, that it does. Sky.
And then
another
second one, and this is my second rant I mentioned to Cole earlier, but anime is better if they're more like movies. I'll say that because there was some discourse about Chainsaw Man saying it's too much like a movie. And then I'm thinking to myself, have you ever seen a Studio Ghibli movie? Have you ever seen a Satoshi Kon movie? Have you ever seen any anime with good animation in the past 10 years? Or even further than that? Really good shows with really good animation are like movies because people think about the shot. How is it going to look good? How it's on from perspective, like from where we're watching to how it's animated, like a movie. Like how a good shot is how the camera's positioned, and then a good shot in anime is how they animate it, how they think how good it's going to look from that angle.
So people are mad at like things like Chainsaw Man because they were too much like a movie?
Yeah, and it's like, if you use your brain, you think, oh, there's a lot of anime-like movies, especially the anime movies like Studio Ghibli, Satoshi Kon, Akira, Ghost in the Shell. Those are all great movies that just are anime too, but they're great movies. So if you think for a minute, and also because Chainsaw Man's getting a movie, if you think for a minute, yeah, they're pretty good if they're like a movie. And then if you look at Freeran, if you think about the shots and the composition and everything, yeah, it's pretty good because it's like a movie. There you go. That's my rant.
Okay, I've got one for you guys. Now I have to preface this with a okay. So if I make a sandwich in the United States, 2 slices of bread, a piece of cheese, and ham, put it together, what's it called?
I prefer turkey, but
a sandwich.
It's a sandwich.
It's a sandwich.
Okay, if I go to Japan and I get 2 pieces of bread, a piece of turkey, and a piece of cheese slapped together, what's it called?
Oh, I know where this is going. It's a sandwich.
It's a sandwich.
It's a sandwich.
So if I'm an American studio, but I make an anime that looks like anime, is it an anime?
I'm going to say yes.
If I'm in Japan and I make an anime that looks like an anime, has the aesthetic. Is it an anime?
I'm gonna say yes.
It's anime. Scott Pilgrim is an anime.
Yeah.
I think Avatar is an anime.
Yeah, screw you, Mal. No, seriously, screw Mal. People stop using that website. It's terrible.
Because here's the thing, too, though.
Garbage.
And I also think that, like, a Japanese studio, which did Scott Pilgrim, I would say it's an anime, even though it's got a slightly different art style and aesthetic. It's still an anime.
There's another hot take for some people, because probably some people are diehards. Mal is garbage. Go use AniList.
Do people actually like Mal, unironically, though?
I don't know of anybody.
Yeah.
Anytime I've ever heard anybody actually talk about those kind of websites, they all say AniList is just the better one.
Yeah.
So I don't know if, like, unironically
they have
like
said
it.
Mal is better for, like, information, like with voice actors and stuff.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
But also people say AnyDB is good. AnyDB is worse. I've been on there. It's a site from freaking 1995. They've never updated it. It's terrible. AnyList is better.
That was my hot take.
That was
A
your hot
sandwich
take.
is a sandwich,
Yeah.
no matter where it's made.
Thank you for your hot takes, gentlemen. Now it's time we discuss best boy. My best boy is Stark.
Me too.
You
Me
too?
too.
Me
too.
I said Gesicht from Pluto because he's
He's your best robot.
he's the best.
He's your best
detective-
roboy.
He's the best detective AI out there. Damn it!
Best robo boy.
He's a good roboy.
And if you're not gonna focus on Astro Boy for most of the show, or Adam as they call him, might as well be that guy.
Fair. Stark's cool.
He's a gamer, dude.
Yeah, I like him.
He's just like me for real.
There's no reason to hate him. It's impossible. You can't hate the dude.
He's just chill.
Cool. All right. Best fan service. I'll start this one as well. I had a hard time thinking of a good fan service scene
I'm a
for
good
this,
Christian
for this
boy.
Show. So I'm going to have to pick the shot of Freeman's. I'm just kidding.
Freeman's foot.
No, specifically it's Goblin Slayer season 2 episode 6. They get swimsuits on. That's basically it. But the one girl that sits behind the desk, they call her
Office girl or
they call her
service lady.
Guild Girl. They
Guild
call her
Girl, Guild
Guild
Girl.
Girl. I always thought she was the cutest, and she happens to join them on this trip, and I'm just like, I'm a simple man.
Yeah.
I'm a simple man. I don't know what more you want.
I like how they just have simple names. Like he's just known as Goblin Slayer.
They have legit names.
Yeah.
We talked about this forever
Yeah.
ago, but like,
I'm
good
sure the
freaking luck
creator's
remembering
like,
them.
yeah, it's really cool that I went out and named these characters. No one's gonna remember.
I'm never gonna say
Yeah.
them in the story either.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite fan.
See,
service.
I'm a good Christian boy, and I don't pick horny anime. But some of it slips through. So MF Ghost, there's just one scene where like they're all in these angel outfits. That's not the biggest part. There's just one scene where he's sticking the camera right up her butthole,
literally up it, dude.
and she's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "We're getting good shots." It's like,
We're earning
Bruh.
our paycheck.
bruh, you only know like horny Japanese businessmen watch this. So
No,
they-
the funniest thing about that whole entire shot thing is how it cuts to like all these people in bars and stuff watching the MF Ghost League, and it just shows a big butt on the TV in the bars that they're watching. So they're like, yeah, and even the girls
Yeah.
are like, man, she's got such a nice tush, and I'm just like,
I wonder in the point of that story, did she register as 17?
no, they don't know her age.
Oh, so she probably lied about her age.
She probably lied about it.
Oh my, everyone's a criminal. Well, depends on the Japanese consent laws. But
I think it's like set like 2032 as well.
yeah,
so.
yeah, true. So
Who freaking knows what they're going on over there?
yeah,
Mine wasn't a specific shot, just because the whole anime was like this. It's called Our Dating Story. It's basically, I always call it I hooked up with the slut girl, now we're dating. Because that's what it is. And there's just a lot of horny shots. And the very first episode, the nerd kid is with her, and she's like, hey, do you want a bone? Go into my room. And then she like rips her shirt, and you can see her cleavage. And then the nerd kid's like, I want this. But I want a wholesome relationship first.
He's one of those. I'd be that too. I'd
You
be
could
like, you know
you
what?
could literally just say the intro for
Yeah,
that
the
show
intro.
is the best fan service.
But there's one episode where they go to the beach and like her and all of her friends are in bikinis too. So I just kind of picked the whole show, I guess.
You move too fast, girl.
Fair. Very solid pick. Well, let's do one more, and then we'll take a quick break. We're going to end off this first half with our best girl of the 2023 season of fall. Who's your best girl, Sky?
Mau Mau from Apothecary Diaries.
Oh, Mau Mau's best girl.
She's so cool, dude. Like,
So
if I could date a girl in real life like her, I would.
It's
Just,
so
I love
freaking
her
funny.
attitude and her outlook towards life.
Always makes me laugh. She's just like, what the F? Why? Like, she like walks in on a situation. Her whole response is like, now I got to effing deal with this, you jerks. It's so funny, dude.
And she's so cold towards the pretty boy that everybody loves.
Oh,
She's just like, I don't
It's so
get it.
good, dude. Love that show. Love Mama's best girl.
Wait, did you pick Mau Mau too?
Oh, yeah, that's why I fist bumped.
Okay,
yeah, I
let's
picked
go.
Mama.
Pick Freerin.
That's fair.
I saw that coming from.
Yeah, it kind of, it's kind of, there's like a white hair girl shaped hole in your heart, and Freeman fits it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Also,
she does.
the awful things I've said. It's like, Freerin, I want to beep. And you guys are like, what's wrong with you?
You know that
That's off the
feed
record.
episode thing I was talking about? He was screenshotting, like sniffing the monitors. I caught him one day.
She's like 1,000 though, so you're good. Actually, not.
Yeah.
Was she a couple hundred years at this
No.
point?
No,
1,000.
more than 1,000.
Oh, more
She's
than
like
1,000?
3 or
Don't you remember the scene
4,000.
where it's like, oh, you live for 800, 500 years? I'm over 1,000.
She's like maybe 2,000 or something. I don't know. She's been around.
She's the ageless wonder.
She's
She's an elf.
a feat.
So elf girls are best. Best
Yeah.
girls.
Some
Yeah.
might say that, like Gwendolyn.
I've got a horrible joke that I'll tell you guys off camera.
Was I right? Gwendolyn? Is that from Lord of the Rings?
No, it's Galadriel.
Galadriel. Got it.
Played by Kate Blanchett.
Wink, wink. And with that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, starting off with our worst protagonist. See you guys in just a second. All right, we are back from our break, and now it is time to get into the worst protagonists.
I've got one.
I've got one. Do you have one, Thane?
I have a one.
You have a one?
Yeah.
Let's hear your one, Thane.
It's Teru Momijiyama, a.k.a. Shy from Shy. She's a terrible superhero. And also,
Mic
yeah.
Poor
drop.
girl.
Sorry, I tried to like you, but you're actually the reason I dropped the show.
That's a pretty bad
Yeah.
protagonist then.
Yeah, sorry.
Mine is, his name is Adonis from Kingdoms of Ruin. His life sucks, and he just wants revenge and hates everyone and everything, and will do whatever it takes to get revenge. Even kill people that he doesn't necessarily love, but he will kill his own people.
To get the revenge.
To get the revenge.
Damn. What heartless bastard.
Yep.
Now, if this was a show set in Tokyo, you might call him a Tokyo Revenger,
Yeah.
but it's not.
He doesn't like anything.
Doesn't that protagonist, I haven't seen the show, but doesn't that protagonist watch out for his friends? Look out for his own
Yeah,
people?
Tokyo Revenger, I don't know, like, it's not about revenge. It's about, like, avenging, I guess,
Yeah.
almost. And so, like, Revenger kind of fits the word avenge. I don't know. It's not. It just sounds cool. That's basically
Yeah.
why they picked the name. All right, my worst protagonist is Ryoto. I don't know. Ryoto. Kashima. I can't even. The dude from Dating Story, where the slut girl show that Skylar was talking about. He's a pretty sucky dude. Like,
He's just your typical beta male.
he's a pretty typical beta male. He's got good moments, honestly. Like, the whole show as a whole gets, like, these good moments every now and then. But more often than not, it's pretty dang bad. But we still watch it. We still eat that trash. It's still tasty. And that's the worst protagonist. So let's go to our best protagonists right off the heels of some dumps. Let's take a good, I guess. My best protagonist or favorite protagonist is also Mao Mao from Apothecary Diaries. Can't really beat her when it comes to protagonists. Like, man, she carries that show pretty hard. But it's
She does.
really, really well done, in my opinion, as a result.
My best protagonist is Freerun because I love the way that her character development is explained. Because it's back and forth. It's future and present, back and forth, and you get her character development, but it's already happened. It's such an interesting and unique way. Plus, I really like her as a character because she's dang near God potential, I would say, in that world. But she still goes about teaching Fern and Stark in such cool and unique ways where I just really like it. I think Freerun's awesome.
I was going to say Freerun because she's the deepest protagonist. Like, if you think, I was going to also put Mao Mao, but I thought, Freerun's circumstances are pretty sad if you think about it.
Fairly unique,
She's
too,
very
for the story.
compelling. She's very compelling. So yeah, I want to do Freerun, and you know what? She might even win Best 2024 Protagonist. There's not someone else who comes along, but she's great.
Real good. All right. Now we've got another music kind of thing. I don't know. They're not really necessarily music things, but they also kind of are. I always think of the animation with these as well. Anyway, it's our favorite ending. So opposed from our favorite opening, we got our favorite endings. My favorite ending is the ending from Freerun. I really, really, really like the
that
ending.
one too.
You like it too?
Yeah.
Give me something.
I like the animation.
The animation's solid.
Yeah.
The music is very nice and calming. Hot take, I don't really like the OP that much. I really like the steel drums a little bit every now and then in it, but other than that, I don't really care for the song. And I just wonder if it's because I don't know if I like the artist's music that much, because I didn't like Oshinoko's intro as well, and they're the same artist.
I
But
like
the ending.
I like Yaosobi.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Yaosobi? I wasn't going to dare try
Yeah.
to say it. But
I like the one. Is
that them as well?
Yeah.
I don't know that one. But yeah, Freerun, Anytime, Anywhere by Millet. I think that's how you say it. Great ending. Music's awesome. The freaking animation is just super, super solid and clean. Like, it's really, really good looking. Like, you could just watch that over and over again and just have the most, like, warm, cuddly, warm feeling, Yeah, that's mine. I guess things as well. Skylar, what's yours?
Mine is also from our dating story. So I got my
yeah.
favorite OP and ED.
Wow.
Mostly just because the music. Like, this one has a rock song that I just love. It's so much fun. So this show, I would definitely watch the intro. Not for the animation. Once again, both of these is not for the animation. Because our dating story is very mid-animated. But, man, they just picked some banger songs.
Both my openings and ending was for the animation. I really like Undead Unluck, how it did its animation.
Oh, really?
It's really cool.
That's one of my favorite parts about OPs is the animation. But the songs really help carry that animation. All right. Time to go right back into some dumpies. What was your biggest dumpy of the year or of the season? Not the year just yet.
So mine is probably a little bit of a hot take, but I think it goes without explaining. Like, it goes without. Is that the phrase?
Goes without explaining?
Yeah.
Saying? Sure.
Goes without saying. Is JJK. I think JJK is really good, but the animation in this latter half of this season is rough, and it's due to the Mappa stuff that's been going on. But you'll literally go from like a really epic fight scene to borderline slideshow in the same episode, and you're like, what is going on? There's some characters drawn where you're like, this looks like a rough sketch that they throw in there and then trace over and make it better later. Like, it's bad. There's a lot of just a lot of rough animation that's going on there. And so I throw it on there as big as Dumpy because it has a lot more potential, but also just because of the Mappa stuff is a big issue. So
Yeah, that'll kind of do it.
yeah.
All right, my biggest dumpy, and I also cheated on this one. I don't know how to Like this one and what was it, the biggest letdown. I honestly didn't really dislike this season much at all. And so I had to give the biggest dumpy to Undead Unluck. Not because it's a bad show, not because of anything about the show, other than the subjective opinion that I have that the characters just weren't very interesting enough to get me to keep going. Like, the manga was fun, and I read it when I was more so first getting into manga, like physical, and I was excited to get the physical versions. Read through the entire first volume. It was fun, but I was just like, yeah, it was okay. And I got like chapter 1 of volume 2, and I was like, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I really don't care what's happening. I don't care about these characters. I dropped the entire manga. And so, like I said earlier, maybe the anime would fix it. Watching episode 1, I was like, yeah, that was a fun premise, but once again, I do not give a crap about these characters. Like, they haven't done anything to make me care about these personalities that they've created. It's basically just, haha, I want to die, and haha, I
can't
die. And it's just like, well, Chainsaw Man did it better. Yeah, so biggest dumpy, Undead Unluck. But yeah, it's literally just because it's an opinion, a personal, subjective opinion. Nothing about the show. I'm sure the people that like the show, I bet it's great for them. It's
Probably
freaking awesome
bitch
for
at
them.
you about that in the comments.
Do it.
Yeah.
I would like to hear why you like
please.
that show. Please boost our engagement.
It's fun. Because it's fun, Cole. It's fun, Janet.
Don't do it for them. They have to comment so we can get the engagement theme. Stop. All right, what was your dumpy theme?
Mine is going to be, out of all the ones I dropped, I picked Migi and Dolly, or Migi and Dolly. I don't know. I just couldn't tell if they were like, are they trying to be serious? Because I know this author wrote a comedy before, but then it seems like at times they're trying to write a serious show, but like how they go about it is just too goofy. It's like, I can't tell. And it's like, it's not good enough. Like, it's like you got to be either actually serious, you like actually say if it is a joke, or you have to be serious enough to not be taken as a joke, and I couldn't tell, so it's like this show sucks.
With nice on cue cough.
Yeah.
All right, now let's go into our favorite anime music or song or whatever it might be. Doesn't have to be the opening, ending, or anything. Could be anything. I'll start this one as well. And I chose the soundtrack to MF Ghost, more specifically the Eurobeat. If I had to really narrow it down, it would be the song called Spitfire by GO2 from the last episode, just because that's the one that I liked the best. I will say, I don't think that MF Ghost's Eurobeat has been on par with Initial D's. I think Initial D's Eurobeat has been far better.
That was peak 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah. At this point, they're just scrounging around for Eurobeat. It's like, hey, we'll give you money to make a beat if you want to come out of retirement.
I'd like new songs. I don't think most of these, if at all, any of them were new songs. I want new songs for season 2. Give me some absolute bangers. Give me a Daijoubu sequel, basically.
Yeah.
If Daijoubu was so good, why don't we have Daijoubu 2? And that's what I want. Daijoubu 2, please. Thane, what was your favorite?
Mine is the opening to Under Ninja, and it's Hyper by Croy.
So the show wasn't good, but the opening had a banger song?
Yeah. It's real good. It's like has this bass at the beginning, so it like catches you like, oh, it's a nice bass line.
Ooh. It's the Shaquille O'Neal. He takes a bite. Ooh.
Yeah. And then, yeah, like it begins different. It like has this down tempo type beat, and then after it goes that, it just goes right into the bass line. It's like, yeah, this is awesome.
So the first one I picked was, I think, kind of cheaty, so I changed it. But I initially had Scott Pilgrim's entire soundtrack. That's just a lot of copyrighted music that I like. So I changed it to Free Run. I love Free Run's OST. I think it's so freaking good, dude.
It fits the world perfectly.
Yeah, and fantasy is my favorite type of fiction, and I love fantasy music. The aesthetic that goes along with fantasy is just peak for me. So, yeah, Free Runs.
There's that one track that plays like at the beginning of every time of them start walking down a road, and in the top right where it says like 28 years past the death of Himmel the hero or whatever, and it plays that same exact song. Every time I hear that, I go, oh. I just like it, dude. I about picked it, then I remembered your.
It's kind of funny how they keep showing it, even though like, yeah, it's still a year. They just show 28 years.
When he says
times.
29, you go, it changed.
It should say like.
I remember reading the manga when it changed. I was like,
I know it's to keep times like, hey, here's the time that happened, but I think it should say like 3 days, six months, and 28
like
years.
really specific.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it being broad, but I just like the fact that they're keeping time.
It's cool.
There's some shows / stories that don't, and it's really hard for me to follow along. But this is really good.
The ones that do are very nice and very appreciated. All right. Now we've got our most memorable moment. I cheated and have 2.
I have 2 as well.
Do you have 2, Thane?
I have one.
Okay. Would you like to go first then?
Yeah, I have one where literally a character, it's so toxic. She literally says, kill yourself to another character. How could she? That's so toxic. I'm just kidding. It's Freeren when she tells Arya? Yeah,
I always said like Arya or something.
Arya to kill herself. And she does by, instead of stabbing herself, she kind of decapitates her.
Yeah.
That's kind of awkward, but like I guess she did a quick jerk movement.
The dance move.
It's a
Very
dance move,
unique.
yeah.
Like that whole engagement where she's like engaging the enemies, and it's like, you think you can stand up against a 500-year-old demon? She's like, well, I'm over 1,000. She's just like,
Freeren's like, I'm
it's like, kill yourself.
That was one of those manga moments that I'm just like, I wonder what the internet's going to say about this one when it's animated. I'm glad it went over well.
Yeah. Her supposed racism didn't, and
but they're okay with this because it was a bad A, right?
Yeah. Instead, they just made the low tier god memes, and it was great. I expected at least one, and there were a bunch. I was like, yeah, I love it.
Sky, what are your favorite moments?
So my number 2 is the dancing scene in Freeren. Why? Why is the animation so good? I don't know. It is. It's just incredible. So
that was one of my moments as well.
The dancing scene, and then my number 1 was the skateboard scene from Scott Pilgrim. That whole thing was just awesome. So freaking cool.
This is my United States of whatever.
Well, we're gonna get copyrighted. Hold on.
You're singing too good, Thane.
It's too good. Good thing I don't have a guitar.
Yeah, honestly, Stark and Fern's dance scene in Freeren, that was probably my favorite moment in the entire manga. And when I realized that it was gonna we were gonna watch the end, watch it this season, I was like, I can't. I'm excited, and they did it so much justice. Oh man, it was so good. I can't wait to see tomorrow's episode because it'll probably be like a continuation, honestly. Because there was a dialogue between Freeren and Sign that we saw a little bit of it, but there's a little bit more that they have in their conversation. So we'll probably be able to see the beginning of next episode. Man, so good, dude.
Don't know how long the manga is gonna go, and I haven't read the manga yet. I'm probably gonna get to it sometime, but I wonder are they gonna get to a point where Fern and Stark are gonna get married, and then they're gonna have a kid, and then Freeren's gonna train that kid, or do you think that might be the end of the series where like?
I would imagine that's like epilogue stuff.
Yeah, that's probably the epilogue.
Yeah. All right, but the other memorable moment is from another show that I've not said anything about this entire time. It's from 16-Bit Sensation, and I'm gonna just throw a spoiler warning out because it technically is a spoiler, but it's not like the biggest spoiler in the world because time travel and like kind of what do you expect. Anyway, there's a moment in this show where main girl gets back from time traveling and ends up back at Akihabara in her time. And she's running around Akihabara, and it's not Akihabara anymore. It's like a business area of Akihabara. And I was just all like, they just did the Steins Gate thing in this show. What am I watching? And like she walks up to the radio building, and there's a freaking wrecking ball that smashes it. I'm just like, what? Dude, they're not even trying to hide it. It's super
Maybe that's
cool.
like them paying homage to arguably one of the best time travel shows out there.
I think so, because they're not taking the time travel very seriously with the show. It's kind of just for fun. But man, that scene, I was just like, it was the end of the episode too, just like it was in Steins Gate. And I was just like, okay, I see what you're doing here, and I'm totally here for it. That was a great moment. now, before we finally get to our best of the summer at the best of fall 2023, we have our special awards. Would you guys like to give out some special awards to shows or episodes or whatever?
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So mine, and I have to reword it because I believe that the source material is actually a comic, but I've called this better than the source material.
Oh.
It is Scott Pilgrim. I think that the Scott Pilgrim anime is better than the movie.
Nice. I
It's
can
by
agree.
the same writer, by the same guy. Well, who to make it better but the guy who made it? Kind of like how people are saying they that the Full Metal Alchemist author, they like her new manga more than Full Metal Alchemist. Like, who better to top it than the creator?
True.
I haven't read the manga yet, but it's like, hey, I hope it gets an anime adaptation because I've heard a lot of good things. I can't remember the title, but I'd have to look it up. Sorry, Arakawa senpai, Miss Arakawa, or
You can tell us your special award now, thing.
yeah. I have 3. One, most violent, Goblin Slayer 2. It's just always violent.
It is Goblin
If you
Slayer.
want to debate, what about Jujutsu Kaisen? I thought it was more violent the last core than was this. And I think Goblin Slayer is just, that's what it is. It's the Slayer in the title.
Goblin Slayer feels it.
Yeah, and
It's got the feel.
this is actually a nomination. I'm thinking to put this in the rotation because every show always has this, and it's best villain. And I picked.
Why don't we do this?
Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah, you always say, got any nominations? Like, well, I have one, and it's best villain. I'm thinking Dr. Roosevelt from Pluto is the best villain because, like, you don't see him very much, but the plan he has, he almost succeeds. And there's one thing that the characters didn't expect, that the audience doesn't expect, and you're like, whoa, okay, that was a pretty solid plan. And then best fight, the third one, best fight. We don't have to add this one since not everyone watches fighting anime, but I think best villain's good. Best fight is Yuji versus Choso. I mean, there's for Jujutsu Kaisen this season in particular, there's a bunch of amazing fights, but this one it was the tightest. It was the best choreographed, and it had the song through it had a connection to one of the fights from the previous season 1. I was like, damn.
Is Yuji the main character?
Yes.
Okay.
Yuji Itadori, and Choso is like a cursed womb painting. I think that's what it is. I think that's the right word. It's not the right order.
There's a very sad moment in the most recent episode I watched.
Yeah. It's a lot of sad moments.
All right, my special award. It's so I really like it when media has a nice orange/pink background. And so my special award is best orange and pink background. And it goes to Apothecary Diaries. There's one specific scene in episode, I don't know the number episode. I want to say it was like 2 weeks ago. I literally rewound this scene like 4 times because I liked how good it looked. I was like, yo, this scene slaps. And it's literally just a freaking shot of the background with the beautiful orange and pink. I'm just like, why do I keep rewinding this? I love those colors. Those are like my favorite color combinations right now. I'm really into it. Like the OG Radcats logo kind of. When that's in a sunset, ooh, it slaps. All right. It is time. We're finally there. Best anime of summer 2023. All right. We're going to go in order. We're going to go slow. We're going to go all of us at a time. Not like,
Fall.
Oh, gosh dang it, dude. I should have rewrote it on the paper. I didn't rewrite on the paper.
Yeah, I just
it says
noticed
summer.
that.
You did on the top, though.
Yeah, I
And you
fixed
did
that.
at the bottom.
But it was supposed to say
Winter.
2023 year review at the bottom.
Oh.
Anyway. So
Oh.
our number 3s. I'll start, and then I'll go Thane and Sky, and then we'll just keep going like that till we get to the end. My third favorite anime of this season was I'm in Love with the Villainess. Thane, what's your number 3?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Sky?
Apothecary Diaries.
Ooh, okay. Number 2. My number 2 was Apothecary Diaries. Dane?
My number 2 was Frieren.
Oh, wow. Okay.
My number 2 was Scott Pilgrim.
Okay. And number 1, favorite anime of fall 2023. Mine was Frieren.
Mine was Pluto.
Mine was also Free Run.
Nice. Man, you really got him, Sky, when you said all those things about Pluto, didn't you?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Thane. I wouldn't take my opinion for anything.
I think you should give it a watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Do you
we'll
guys
get
want to
there.
say
We'll
anything
get
about
there.
these shows? We'll just go, Sky. You can tell us about your 3.
I think Apothecary Diaries is awesome. It scratches that itch that I just have an unsatiable quench for, or it cannot be quenched. I love murder mysteries, and this is just that. So it's really fun. I love the main character. She's great. Scott Pilgrim, I think, is fantastic. Man, the characters are fun. They're even better in this than I think in the regular TV show. And this is something we already talked about on the Scott Pilgrim episode. It's really good. I think it's one of those just dumb, fun animes. And Wallace Wales.
William Wallace.
Wallace Wales is the best character in that whole freaking show. Don't at me. And then I think Free Run has one of the most unique takes on storytelling, the way that they go about doing it anyway. I love it. I can't really think of anything else that tells such a fun story in 2 different time periods, kind of at the same time, just bouncing back and forth. It's great.
What about you, Thane?
Jujutsu Kaisen, like this arc, when I read in the manga, I was like, God, this is horrible. And then I was like, then watching it's like, oh no, I know what's coming. No, don't do it again. Not again.
I just watched that episode.
Yeah, it's
dark.
It gets messed up. This one feels like Jujutsu Kaisen got dark, but it didn't feel like it beat you down. This one beats you down hard. And it's like, when can I get back up? And Free Rent, it's Free Rent. Probably the most talked about show this season. Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't go on many anime forums, but whatever. But Free Rent it's just good. It's just so good. I love white-haired elf girls. And then Pluto, you don't get, like, there's not many Urasawa manga that's animated. But when they do, they make sure it's good. And Pluto it's amazing. Like, who'd ever thought he took an old 50s manga, 50s, 60s, and just make it a murder mystery, like a specific arc even. He like had a self-contained, he made one arc self-contained into an incredible story, and he just pulled it off. And then seeing it animated, it's like, this was just fun. It was fun to watch. Very suspenseful and just a really cool take on a classic character.
All right. Number 3, I'm in love with the villainess. I find it very funny that this is in my top 3. And that's partly why I picked it, just because it's the funny pick. But also, it was the anime that I decided to start reading the manga of. I feel like every time we do this, I pick up a new manga every single time. This was that for this season. I enjoyed the show. I was about episode 10 and like, all right, I can't wait for anything else. Time to read the manga. So I read the manga. I'm caught up on that. And I will say the anime's better. They definitely adapt the story in a better way, but it's still fun. Still a fun story. Apothecary Diaries is probably one of the best looking shows we've had in a very long time, which is crazy to say in a year full of shows that just looked absolutely stunning. Pretty much every season we've had a crazy looking show. And not only does it look as good as it does, the story is just super, super fun. The characters, the cast, all a blast. I love their chemistry. It's super fun to watch them bounce off each other, their ideas and everything. And just the plot itself is very unique and captivating to me. I've never really seen much like it. I guess save for something like House, but obviously the setting is very different. And speaking of shows that look absolutely stunning, Frieren is probably the best show, like, animation-wise, in my opinion, of the year. It'll probably, like, spoiler alert, next week, you're probably going to hear me say these same exact words, that Frieren looks the best of all of the shows over the whole year, because it really does, dude. It's crazy how good this show looks. The backgrounds, even the fight scenes, just the subtle animation, the Sakuga, ooh, is it peak? It's so freaking good. And who knew that one of my favorite mangas I just randomly picked up one day was going to become something that like looks like this? I'm absolutely thrilled with how good it turned out. Very, very happy. Shout out to 2 to 3 year ago Cole at Barnes & Noble randomly picking up a volume of Frieren. You rock. Appreciate you. And that is our best of anime fall 2023. Before we end, we've got 2 more things to talk about. We've got the shows that we wished we watched, as well as our manga standouts. And that's pretty much what we normally do, because we also like manga, so we got to talk about that. But before we do, let's really quickly run through the shows that we wished we watched. I'll go through them real fast. I've got 2, only 2 this time. I've got Eminence in Shadow, which was never on my radar until the past couple of weeks, when I've seen so many people on different anime forums and everything saying, why is this show so, or they don't say it like this, but it got me thinking, why is this show so good, or why are people talking about the show as much as it is? Why was it like literally number 4 or 3 on this list that I had earlier of the top 5? I don't know why. I've never watched it, but apparently it's freaking incredible, and now I want to watch it. And then the next one is Shangri-La Frontier. Thane watched this one. He didn't say anything about it, so I wonder if it was as good as I was hoping it could have been.
Fun.
It's fun.
It's not bad.
I like Sword Art Online. I like Sword Art Online, so Bird Art Online would probably be pretty good too.
If you're a gamer, maybe you have more experience of like playing MMOs. It's definitely fun. Like if you're a gamer,
I think I would enjoy it. So one of these days I may pick it for the watch along. Sorry, Thane, in advance if I do end up picking.
No, it's like 24 episodes. I don't know. Yeah, because
it's a two-core?
It's a carryover.
Oh,
yeah.
Well then. Maybe I won't pick it then.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, those are the 2 that I was thinking that I might like to watch someday.
So my 2 that I wish I would have watched is MF Ghost. Just sounds really fun, and I like cars as much as the next guy. And then the other one is Pluto. As much as I've dunked on this show, it seems like it checks all my boxes. I just don't think I like robots. And also the hour-long episodes is, I don't know why, but it's kind of just a hindrance when it comes to anime for me. That's coming from the guy that'll sit down and play 2 hours of a video game.
Why can't all anime episodes be an hour?
Dude, if Freerun was an hour long every Friday, I would freak out. Oh my gosh. Please give it to me.
Hell yeah. I was really hoping that Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works had 2 back-to-back hour-long episodes. Like, are we getting an hour long? It's like, no, it's just those 2 episodes. It's like, ugh. Okay. I looked through it, and it's like, man, is there any show I really wanted to watch? And it's like, no, nothing really catches my fancy. And so I originally was going to put NA, because, like, no. But then I just put Eminence Shadow, because I've heard a lot about it, and it's like, yeah, might give that one a shot. Like, from one video where it, like, tries to hype up, it's like, it's so dumb, it works, and it's like, and then it's like, I just only get the dumb part. But who knows, maybe if I watch it, it'll actually be like, I get it, I see where they're going, but no.
Did you watch that one, Sky? I don't know why. This is season 2. I thought one of us watched it when it first came out, but I guess not. Huh.
The Eminence in Shadow?
Yeah. Interesting. All right. That leaves us with our manga standouts for the season. The last 3 months or so, what kind of manga were you guys reading? What did you finish? What was your favorites? So on. Whatever you want to talk about. Go for it. Let's start with Thane.
One Piece said there is like another flashback, big flashback, reveals a bunch of stuff. Yeah, as much as it's fun to say there's too many flashbacks, every time there is, it just opens the world, and you're like, okay, like he knows how to develop characters. Like I never thought this character get development at this detail, but it's like, yeah, and also they had another big reveal of something about the world, and I was like, man, I just want to see how this all ends. I'm itching for the finale. I'm seeing how like what's gonna happen. And then also Sakamoto Days. That's just been fun, and I think it got an anime adaptation announced, or it has yet to. But it's pretty much. I'm pretty sure it's gonna get an anime adaptation.
It's a shoo-in.
It's a shoo-in. I think it's compared to popularity. I think it's just behind One Piece, which is very surprising. Like, wow, people really like this one. It's really fun. And then there's also Kagurabachi. Like, I know it's a meme, but I just think Kagurabachi is a really fun show, and I hope it does go for quite a while. Like, I would at least 100 chapters, maybe 200. Like, I wouldn't want it to be too long, but just enough to get a solid show and a solid conclusion.
You want it to not be dropped.
Yeah, I don't want to be dropped. So, and then Chainsaw Man's been just like we got 5 chapters between the season. They're all really good. Like, it's Fujimoto's storytelling is just very interesting. And then One Punch Man, always fun. Murata's artwork is just so very detailed and flashy, and just
Flashy
out the
Flash.
page. Yeah, Flashy Flash. He's a character. And then finally, Jujutsu Kaisen. Just we're ticking down till the end. It's like, God, all these pieces falling together. How's it all gonna end? How are the good guys gonna get out of this? Or are they gonna pull a twist and the bad guys are gonna win? First time in Shonen Jump history. Oh my God, no. But like, I want to see how's it all gonna end? Who's gonna live? Yeah, it's funny. Like, certain shows, you're like, man, I wonder who's gonna die at the end of the show. And then there's some shows where like, who's gonna live?
That it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, I'll go mine real quick. I've got number 1 is Dandadan. I don't know why people don't read this manga. The people that do all know that it's phenomenal and it's peak and it's getting an anime.
I like Dandadan too.
If you don't read Dandadan, you should get on it.
Yeah, you should get on it.
Me?
I think I read it before Cole, so
You did, yeah.
I should be praising it more, but I don't know why. But every time you just open it, it's like, wow.
I remember one day, it was literally, I saw the, I'll gobble your schlong if you let me suckle your teats or whatever. I saw that, and I was like, what the freak is this? And I look into it, and I see it's called Dandadan. And I'm like, Thane, have you ever read Dandadan? And he's like, yeah, I read it. It's pretty good. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I haven't missed a chapter since. It's so good.
I remember one time I was reading it. I think I said to Sky, or you was like, yo, this manga is weird, and that's it. And they kind of disregarded it or something. But then they read.
A lot of manga are weird, yeah. So Dandadan's awesome. Read Dandadan.
Yeah.
All right, next up. This is one that I know people don't talk about, which is interesting. But it's Akasaka's other manga that is not Oshinoko. It's called, and this is not like the English name of it. I don't know what the English name will be, if it's just going to be this. Anyway, it's called Renai Daikao. It's fun. It's basically just another rom-com, but this time it's like there's like 4 main characters, if you will, and like 2 of them are like love consultants that like they give people like little earpieces and like tell them what to say during like their conversations with the people they're trying to like get with. Very interesting, very fun. The characters are pretty fun. I don't know who draws it. I don't know what their name is, but they do some good artwork. Very cute, very fun.
So it's wholesome, not like a dark edge like Oshinoko.
It's definitely more wholesome than Oshinoko, no doubt about that. I would say it feels almost more wholesome than Kaguya-sama. And Kaguya-sama was heavy into the jokes. Yeah. This one's not very heavy into the jokes. It's much more into the romance side rather than the joke side. That said, I would still call it a rom-com.
I have a feeling, I have a feeling at times Kagura was like just like cynical at times.
Yeah.
Kind of this one doesn't very much.
I mean, every now and then it's got a little bit of it, but it's very similar though in like tone, I guess. Even though Kaguya was more.
That's I said Kagura too.
Kaguya was more jokey. This one's not as jokey. It doesn't have that kind of a tone, but it has every now and then. Anyway, Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. We talked about it earlier. This manga slaps. People are wrong when they say Boruto is bad. That's just the facts.
I've only read the manga. It's mostly people watch the anime, and let's be honest, that's a lot of people.
There's a lot of bad episodes of the anime, but even the anime slaps. Okay, I'm just gonna throw that out. Get on Boruto. Okay, just saying that right now. You don't want to be at the end of Boruto and jumping on, and then people saying, "Wow, where was this manga? How is it this good?" You could be like, "Yeah, eat my
Boruto.
Eat my Boruto. This has always
eat
been
my
good.
Boruto.
I've always liked it."
Eat my Boruto.
Yeah, especially this time skip arc. Like, you like Shippuden. I think this is just clearing Shippuden at the beginning so far. Anyway, Shippuden's beginning was like, okay, let's go to this big long arc of fighting the Sand Kotsky guy, and this arc so far, it's just like, whew, they're throwing out the spice from chapter 1. The last thing I have is Masamune Kun's Revenge. I read this one when I was really heavily looking for a rom-com to read. I came across this one. It was a lot of fun. It was a rom-com. I mean, it had some good premises, good plots, good stuff, good character development, and it wasn't trash, surprisingly. It was actually good. So that's what I got to say. Unlike the last time that I read Girlfriend, which literally was just trash. That's my manga picks. What do you got, Sky?
So I'm only going to talk about 2 because you guys have already talked about the other ones that I'm also reading. And there's no reason to beat a dead horse, except for Boruto. You're missing out if you're not reading it.
Definitely.
There's going to be an obligatory read Boruto every time we do one of these.
Every time.
So the newer one that I started, which is getting canceled, by the way, just I promise you it will, is called Green Greens. It's a golf manga.
You actually think it's going to get
canceled? I think
canceled?
it's going to get canceled. Oh. And it's very sad because I'm really enjoying it. Plus, it's
got
golf.
several other sports manga to contend with. It's got like 3. Would you consider Blue Box?
Yeah, that's kind of a sports manga.
And then I don't know if Martial Master Asumi's going to survive. Maybe, I don't know. But then it's got
I'm
Two
pushing
on
for
Ice.
Greens. I like that
Thanks. I'm pushing for it too, but
It's been fun.
I don't want to get my hopes up. So, yeah. And then the other one is actually a manga that has finished. It's one of those oldies but goodies that I've gone back to, and it's called Nana. I watched the anime a couple years back. It was incredible. Turned out to be one of my favorites. And now I'm reading the manga because I learned, I don't know why I never looked into this years ago, but I learned that there's more of the manga than just what was adapted. I just didn't think, because there's 40-something episodes. I think there's 44 episodes of the anime. And there's 20 volumes of the manga. So I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. There's probably 2 or 3 chapters per episode. No, the chapters are 45 to 50 pages long.
So it's like one chapter per. Whoa.
Yeah, I'm getting a significant amount of Nana past what was made into the anime. Man, it's so much fun. It's like a teen drama, but they're in college, so it's a young adult drama, and it's just great. I eat it up, dude. It's so much fun.
It's just the question of, will the author ever return?
Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah. She's been gone this long. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And then Free Run's still really good. So whenever Cole gets that, it slaps.
Yeah, like I get the new volumes as they come out, then I lend them to Sky, and then we just gush about it. It only lasts about a day because that's how long it takes us to read a volume of Free Run. But that is our show, everybody. Thank you all for watching episode 40. We did it, big number 40. Of Life is Daijoubu. This was, like I said, and as you've heard multiple times, our fall 2023 review. Next week, you will be getting our entire year 2023 review. So we're going to be doing some nice reminiscing of the shows and everything that came out in the past year. There'll be some new things that we add in because I've definitely watched 1 or 2 shows that I hadn't watched during this season. So we'll talk about a little bit of that as well. Look forward to that. Then the week after that, we'll be doing the 2024 winter season in a nutshell, if that's what you want to call it. I know that's a lot of people call it on YouTube. So that's basically what it is, but I don't want to copy their name, so I'm trying to be a little bit clever with it, but it's not that clever because it's not a catchy name. Maybe we'll come up with something, but anyway, look forward to that as well. So this week, the week after that, and the week after that, so 2 more weeks straight of content. And then we get back into our regularly scheduled anime book club in quotations. And yeah, I'm excited. Can't wait to see you guys then. We're going to have a nice reminiscing session, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a great life.
Bye.